Hi, I am working on not on that being that. Okay. All right, so let's talk about something. So everybody, welcome again to Untethered Fridays. Every week at 12, we come on and we discuss a topic. And by we, I mean me. Unless Robin Thomas joins me, and then I mean we. But I don't think she's going to be joining us today because she's driving. So there are a lot of things going on. Sometimes in life, let's put this into the hypothetical. Sometimes in life, things start happening that are very stressful and that maybe even you're doing your best to handle, but are still stressing you out. And the thing is, these are the things that it's like low-hanging fruit, as Michael Singer would call it. You know, there's zero benefit to stressing about it and all cost. So there are things like, for instance, right now, there is some issues with my rental assistance that I am taking care of, but didn't have to be there. So I'm a little pissed off. Had someone done what they were supposed to. So I'm kind of pissed off, and I'm trying not to be angry about it because that doesn't do anything. But that's the thing, right? We can't try not to be angry. Let's just be angry about it. All right, I'll let myself be angry about it and just notice the anger, not act from that place. I might have written text that was a little bit edgy, but yeah, I'm angry. So what do? Right? We acknowledge these feelings. They're here. And as much as I would like to push the stress away, my voice is like shredding. As much as I would like to push the stress away and push the anger away because I don't want to feel it, that keeps it there. Right? So the goal here is not to keep I need some more water. My face is feeling very dry. The goal here is not to keep it there. We want to release these feelings. If we push them away, if we try not to feel them, they will just stay. And that's not what we want, because it also makes it harder to function, right? Like I can feel it in the pit of my stomach, right? Like it's like, this churning right here in the pit of my stomach. And I don't want it there. It feels very uncomfortable. I want to run away from it, right? We all have these things that, you know, even if we're doing things to fix the situation, to rectify the situation, and there are moments like, okay, we've done what we can do, we have to wait on things, or there's something I need to do that I can't get to right now because I'm doing something else. Not this, but yes, this. This is reality. And it's how it is meant to be. It's going to be. So it's how it's meant to be, right? There's no other way for it to be, because this is how it's going to be and how it is. And it's what's happened is what's happened. I am focusing and doing what I can to fix it right now. And there's nothing else I can do. I just gotta do what I can. I keep having thoughts, right, about things, and some of them are anger thoughts and some of them are like stressed out thoughts. And the thing is, none of them are useful. They're not helping in any way, shape, or form. They are, in fact, making it worse. So the goal here is to allow those feelings to be and allow those thoughts to be and to focus on other things. Like, you just have to be okay with being uncomfortable. And I don't like it. No one likes it. I don't want to do it, but it has to be done. So I sit here and I feel the discomfort of stress and worry. I feel that here, across here and up here, like in my head. So my sixth chakra, I feel it in my throat, my fifth chakra, and a bit in my heart chakra as well. So my fourth chakra, I feel it like here. And then in the pit of my stomach, so that's my third chakra. Like, it's all up and down. It's all up and down the energy stream. So I just gotta allow that energy to be what it is. And that's what I'm putting forth to you, that, oh my God, it's okay. Things happen, right? So I was talking a little bit about how the origin of this video series, and it's about, you know, anybody who doesn't know, it's about not me exploring my feelings. I mean, it is about me exploring my feelings, but the purpose of it is to help others see that there are other ways of dealing with their emotions and their thoughts than the way they're doing it. Because a lot of, like, I was very unhealthy, and I'm still not like the healthiest, but I'm working on it. And I just don't want anybody else to feel the way that I felt. And I know a lot of people do. I know a lot of people feel worse. And whatever I can offer to you, if that's how you're feeling, I want to offer. So we're going to talk about what I'm going through emotionally and how best to handle it. And that last part is the most important part, although I do get caught up in the first part a lot. But that's okay, right? Because what I'm trying to do there is, like, show you that what you're feeling isn't, I mean, it's unique in some senses, but also it's what other people are feeling, and other people have learned to deal with it differently. And so can you. So, one of the concepts that Michael Singer talks about is low-hanging fruit. And that is when you get, it's kind of an exercise that you can do, so the idea is that you allow things to be the way they are and you just accept them. Because that's reality, and honestly, there's nothing you can do about it. Sure, there are things that you can do to change certain aspects, and that's great. You can influence things, but when you are, again, when you're waiting for the outside to match the inside to be happy, you're not going to be happy, right? So the thing is, you're not going to always be happy. That's the other thing. It's like, you can't always expect to be happy. And you have to be okay with that. You have to actually be all right with the stress feelings, with feeling like that nausea that comes along with, like, being worried and anxious. Sorry, I just got lost in my thoughts there. So what I'm doing is I am taking deep breaths, which is not only oxygenating my blood and causing me to focus and relaxing me, right? Because if you take slow, deep breaths, that is a signal to your brain. It's like a hack to your brain to say everything's okay. We don't have to breathe. Even if you're, like, breathing heavily, if you force yourself because I don't know about you, but when I get stressed, I start breathing quickly and shallowly. You know, it's not like heavy, but it's like, I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear that. It's going in my nose, but that's why I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear that, but, like, you know, it's just like, it's shallow and it's quick, and you don't even notice it. Or a lot of times I end up holding my breath. which sucks because like all of a sudden I'll just like all of a sudden my body's just like and it just breathes in like, oh my God, and it feels good then, but it's like, oh my God, I was just holding my breath. How long was I holding my breath for? I don't even notice when I do it. I don't notice, but I'm going to work on being more present, and I am working on being more present in my body, so I will notice that before I like have to take a deep breath like I'm coming up from the bottom of the ocean. So we're not always going to be happy, and not only do we have to stop trying to make ourselves always be happy in every moment, we have to accept that that's what the way life is, and then actually to embrace it, because this is our experience of life on this planet. In between that, we have the time between when we're born and when we die. We choose what we do with it, and anything that we really have control over. I have this as one of my affirmations that I came up with one time, and it's not here, but I am my focus, I am my volition, and I am my actions. Those are the three things that you can influence. You can choose what to focus on, whether I'm focusing on this or the sounds of the birds outside, or when the wind comes in, the feeling of it across my skin. We can focus on the moment, and that's what we really ought to be working on focusing to. Focusing on, not to. See, that's a nice little breeze. And then the thoughts come, right? Like I just had another thought about what has happened that's causing this issue with the rental funds. And it was like anger and stress, like just like desperate fear that, like, honestly, like that's the other thing, is when you're stressed out, when you're worried, when you're anxious, these are survival mechanisms that are in us because at one point we were running away from tigers. And it was important to be stressed, and when the tiger was around, and to be watchful for it. But when the tiger's not around, you shouldn't be stressing. And there's no tiger here. I'm not gonna die. But because we have those instincts, we transfer them to things that aren't that serious. Like, okay, yeah, I need to take care of this, but I'm not gonna die. I'm not even gonna get kicked out of my house. It's gonna be taken care of. It's gonna be fine. There's no reason to stress out about it. So let me try and order my thoughts a little bit better about this. So when we come up with something that is bothering us, that is disturbing our peace, let's call it that. When something in our life is disturbing our peace, when our thoughts and our emotions are disturbing our peace, we have to look at what is causing it. And if what is causing it is something that you can't do anything about, that's low-hanging fruit. Because like anything in the past, anything, good, bad, ugly, horrific, in the end, stressing about it or wishing it were different or being angry about it or whatever, it's useless because it's happened. And as much as there have been plenty of times in my life where I wish that I could go back, like just rip a hole, like tear a hole in the time-space continuum, that's not actually possible to do, no matter how much I think it should be. And that is, I gotta drink more water. And that's what low-hanging fruit is. All cost, what's disturbing your peace, it's all cost, no benefit. Now, if when you relax, there's still something that needs to be done, then you go and do it, but you do it from a grounded place, right? And that is the case right now. What's happened in the past is in the past. It happened, and the only thing to do about it now is to deal with the current situation. And the best way to deal with that is from a grounded place. And that's what I'm working on as we speak, right? So the feelings come, the thoughts come, and it comes up here, like, and then sinks in my stomach. And every time that happens, I take a deep breath. And the deep breath thing, right? Not just to focus, not just to calm my body and calm my heart and tell my brain that everything's okay, but also when you take a deep breath, it expands the inside of your body, it expands your rib cage, it expands everything, and then then as you let it out, it relaxes. So you're actually kind of giving your organs a massage. You're giving my muscles, the internal muscles that are on my rib cage and like all around my chest and on my back, those get stretched and they're able to relax more, which is what you want, because the whole point here is to relax and release these thoughts and feelings. So something's bothering you, as it is me. Something in the past happened that caused it. I could choose to be angry about that. And you know what? That's the wrong. I am feeling anger about that. And that's because I'm not angry. Let's recall this, right? We're not our emotions. We are not our thoughts. It's easy to get caught up in them and feel like they are, but they're not. So I have anger, some anger regarding what happened. That's useless though, because nothing I think or feel is going to change what happened, nor is it going to change someone else's behavior. So all I can do is do what's best for me. Okay. So being angry while I can feel it, you know what, okay, it's there. Not being angry, feeling anger. I can feel the anger there, and I can feel it's actually in it's inside. Here's the thing, it's like these things you feel in your body, but then you also have your astral body, which sounds hokey, but it's freaking true. You know what I mean? Because there are, if you haven't noticed, there are times you have emotions that aren't located in your body. They just feel. You just feel your feelings, right? So like right now, the anger is like, yeah, it's here-ish, but it's within this energy system that causes all the emotional and spiritual upset in our life. No, that doesn't, we cause it, but that's how it kind of circulates through our man. Like there are a lot of things coming together for me right now in my head. There's a book called The Anatomy of the Spirit, and that's sort of what's kind of like, oh, that's what she meant by that. So I could either focus on that anger, and that would become a samskara, because when we focus on something, we hold it there. We don't let it go. We don't let it pass through, and it stays there until we let it go. So the best samskara is the samskara that you never form. So I'm going to continue to relax and release that one. And I can feel within my emotional energy stream, I can feel where that is. It's back here, and I'm working on relaxing, and it's going to dissipate. It is dissipating. I'm just not going to focus on it, right? Just allow it. And I can go on with the rest of my life. I can go on with what I'm doing and still feel that anger, but just not focus on it. And that's not something I ever really knew when I was before. I thought I had to focus on all the negative feelings and focus and stay with them and try and fix them. And that is not the way to live your life. Really isn't. But you can choose not to do that. And that's the point of these videos. So I could focus on the anger, but I'm not going to. I'm going to focus on gratitude, right? I'm going to focus on the fact that because of this anger and because of these feelings of stress, I can bring them to you to talk about them and to work through them. And hopefully some of you out there will see this and it will resonate, and you'll I need to do vocal work. It's been a while. And see these feelings in your own life. And when you do, maybe at that point, you'll become a bit more aware, like, okay, I'm feeling anger. I'm not angry, I'm feeling anger. And hey, that girl, that girl was able to just go on with life and not focus on it. She says that that's the way it's going to be, right? Like that's just, and the place I get this is from like books and other people, right? Like you hear from people that I'm just going to feel that anger. I'm just going to feel that stress. It's just there. I can feel exactly where it is in my energy system, and I'm just going to allow it to be there. So that when I take that deep breath in, it relaxes my heart space, and I allow those things to flow through my energy field, my emotional field. Because honestly, I get it. It sounds hokey. I get it. It sounds hokey, but it's actually true, because your emotions are energy. I mean, can you dispute that? They're energetic. They're energetic. Whether or not they're like, if depression will suck energy, and elation gives energy, but it's energy, and being aware of it is the first step to a better life, honestly. So right now I'm kind of hunched over, which is closing up my heart space. Sorry, that's like so what we can do with that is just allow the anger to be. I know I keep repeating myself, and focus on what needs to be done. I can also see that there's the stress feeling, and I get the feeling, okay, focus on what there is to be done, and that's like very serious, and it's still stressful. So I have the stress feeling as well, and I'm gonna just allow that to be. The stress feeling and the anger are what they are. They're there, and I'm not gonna do anything about them. I can't stop them. They just are there. I don't have to pay attention to them. The thoughts that come that stoke those things, I can ignore those too. Don't try and change them. I ignore them. Instead, what I'm going to focus on is the fact that I'm able to come here and go through this with you, and hopefully provide a solution for you in your life at some point, or at least something to think about. So I'm going to concentrate on the idea, like focus on the idea that I'm helping people with this, and that makes me happy. And you out there might want to focus on, the thing is, anything that happens for you, not to you, which it's hard to believe, but it's true. You can find the reason for everything that happens. It doesn't feel like that sometimes, but you can turn everything that happens in your life into an opportunity for spiritual and emotional growth. And that's something to always be grateful for. So I'm grateful for this opportunity, this stress and this anger, because it is a moment in which I can choose to either go with that, which I don't want to do, right? Let's just, I can kind of feel it energetically, like, I could choose to go that way, which I won't do. And instead, I focus on the gratitude that I have, that this has given me this opportunity to let those things go. And that means in the future, it'll be easier to let other things go. And it'll just be, every time I do it, it's practice, right? Every time I do it, it gets easier. And this is what I have not been doing lately, because I've been so caught up in other things. So that's what I'm asking you to work on. That's what today's Untethered Friday is about. Recognizing that whatever it is you're feeling, you can allow yourself to feel and allow yourself to think, not focus on it, and then be also grateful for the opportunity it gives you to let those things go, to practice letting those things go, so that when really big things hit the fan, you can do that with those as well. So you start with the little things, because the big things you're not going to be able to do. You start with the little things, and you just practice that. You practice letting go, you practice gratitude. So I am grateful. I'm very grateful that this is allowing me the opportunity to let go of this emotional and spiritual and thoughtful blockages and uncomfortable energy. Allow it to blow through. emotions and thoughts are part of the human experience, and we can be grateful for those, because if we were happy all the time, it would be really boring. So not just that, but I mean, we could be happy all the time, and I'm sure it would be, actually, if we had the Shakti flow going, it's like awesome all the time. But the point is, even then, we're experiencing the emotions, we're just allowing them to flow through, and that is the orchestra of life. So I'm gonna stop talking now, and yeah, it's true though that you can see, I gotta figure out like the best way to segue into this. I say this every time, but like, so I'm gonna be grateful for those things, and I hope that you can be grateful for your things, and then I hope that you can always remember that you can always choose to have a grateful